everyone and welcome to today's video. So today I'm going to be doing a full face of makeup using makeup that I haven't used for ages. You know what it's like, you've got quite a substantial makeup collection and you're just always reaching for your favourites. I know that I do that. Just thought I would dig out a few products I haven't used for a while and do a full face of makeup, so I hope that you enjoy. So there really is no particular reason why I haven't used these products for a while. They're all products that I do like. It's just, like I said, I just find myself reaching for my favourites or like my everyday products. So first up, I have got my primer, and I've got this Prep and Perfect brightening primer from Primark, and this one's got banana extract and it's got like that instant glow effect to it. It's actually a really great primer and it is a really big tube. This is a 50ml tube, and obviously you don't need an awful lot of primer for your face. It does have a slight banana fragrance to it, and in terms of like the glow, I find that most of it just ends up like on my hand rather than on my face. Aside from that, it is a pretty decent primer. So next up is a foundation I haven't used for ages, and it is the Ordinary Full Coverage Foundation. This is shade 1.2p, and to be honest, I went through a phase of using this like all the time, but the past like probably a few months or so I just have not been reaching for this foundation. It is quite liquidy and I'm not 100% convinced that the shade is a great match for my skin. So I just find that it's not great, or like it used to be great, or maybe I was just thinking wrong, but it is, despite being a coverage foundation, it is quite lightweight actually. I never feel like my face is really clogged up with product. So maybe I should give this a go. Maybe I'm a bit more tanned now actually since moving to Australia. So maybe it is a slightly better match for me. But yeah, let me know if you've tried out Ordinary foundations. I think they have a few others, so I'd love to know what you think of them. Well, that actually looks pretty good. Maybe I was a bit too quick to write off that primer as well, because I have got a nice little bit of glow just showing through, especially as that foundation is full coverage, so it's done a pretty good job. And yeah, I think the foundation is a slightly better match for my skin now. I said maybe just because I'm a little bit more tanned than when I was still back in the UK, but I'll definitely keep using it till it's obviously all gone. Next up is concealer, and I honestly cannot tell you the last time I used this concealer. Probably like when I bought it, which, you know, it's still in date but was a while ago, and it is this one here from Primark. It was only 90p and it's an okay concealer. It's a concealer stick, and I definitely prefer like a liquid concealer to the sticks. This one is a medium buildable coverage. I think it's the shade Porcelain. Yeah, so shade Porcelain, and I did have the corresponding foundation which I have now used up, and obviously I can't repurchase because I'm in Australia now and we don't have Primark. So it is, like I said, okay. I'm not a huge fan of a stick concealer. I much prefer just liquid and getting the brush and just getting it where I need it. This one, I don't know, I feel like the stick's just like a bit greasy as opposed to a liquid, but I will obviously use it. I will do my best to use it till it's finished, or at least till it's gone past its expiration date. It does blend in pretty well. It doesn't crack, it's not cakey or anything. I think I just prefer a liquid concealer. Okay, and next up is powder to set that all in place. So we're definitely going full glow today. This is the Magic Star setting powder from Jeffree Star Cosmetics. This is their natural one, and this is, yeah, it's the Luminous setting powder, and I actually really love this setting powder. It comes in this really lovely packaging. It has a really nice, like, almost like a candy floss fragrance to it, and it is very luminous. So the reason I tend to not really reach for it loads because it is very luminous, and normally I use my Revolution baking powder, and I can get like a good amount on my face to set my makeup. But this one, I don't want to put on too much and look too shiny, but at the same time I want to get enough on to actually set my foundation and my concealer. So that's like my dilemma I have every time I think about using it. Oh, and it is also quite difficult to actually get out of the container. I don't know if it's just me doing something wrong, but it ends up just going everywhere, and I don't want to waste it, obviously. So let's go for the under eye. I feel like I'm just looking shiny already, but I want to get all my foundation set. I think I'd quite like to try just one of the normal setting powders from Jeffree Star that hasn't got any of the luminous powder in, because I mean it does the job. It does set your makeup all day. It's just getting that balance between being shiny and just having a nice glow. See, I've got a good glow, but maybe a bit too much of a glow. But moving on to my brows, and I'm actually going to be using this Makeup Obsession brow pencil. This is their So Fine brow pencil in dark brown, and I always use the spoolie of this to brush my brows, but I normally just reach for a brow mascara now because I just really like the way it makes my eyebrows look. Like, it makes them look very natural but also tamed at the same time. I used to always use this pencil, and I do love it. I just don't find myself using it like the actual pencil really anymore, because I prefer the brow mascaras. I do like how small the actual pencil of this is. It is very good for like precision, and the shade is good, and it's also really cheap. I just don't really go for that penciled in look. Yeah, I think, to be honest, I'll be sticking with the brow mascara. I feel like my brows just look too thick now. I didn't even use that much product. Definitely if you've got like a lot of brow to fill in, I highly recommend this pencil, because I've got quite full eyebrows anyway. It's not really an awful lot to fill in, so I think I'll definitely be sticking with my brow mascara. Next is bronzer, but I actually only own one bronzer, which is this Hoola one from Benefit. So of course I use this all the time, so I'll just skip that or talking about that, and I will move on to my blush. So the blush I'm going to be using is actually from this Revolution palette. This is their Blush Sugar and Spice palette, and it has got a really good variety of blush shades in it actually, and these two like more highlight shades. I think I've only literally used a couple of the blushes in here. I'm gonna use this one today. I think these other ones are looking a bit too pink. Actually, maybe these will be some good like contour shades. I could try that out next time, but I'm gonna use this shade here. They don't have names, I believe. No, they're just numbered 1 to 8. So it's gone on to the brush nicely. I can't really remember what this one looked like. Okay, it's actually very pink, way pinker than I thought. Oh gosh. Okay, at least I know for next time that I need to put hardly any on the brush, because it is quite pigmented. I mean, I'm not complaining because this was a very inexpensive palette. I do really like this shade actually. This is really lovely. I've pretty much just been exclusively using one of my little like Colourpop face palettes, or sometimes I use the Benefit Dandelion face brightening powder. This is nice. I'm not sure whether I would get a lot of use out of the other pink shades though, because even this lightest one is really very pink and probably a bit too much if I'm being honest. So next up I'm going to be using another product from Revolution, well from I Heart Revolution, and it's one of their triple baked highlighters. I'm assuming this one is called Starstruck, and looks like this. These are massive, and I have like 3 or 4 of them, and I don't know if I'm ever gonna get through them. This one here is kind of like a champagne pink shade, and I think I've only used this maybe like once or twice when I first got it, and if I do remember, it was good. I just don't find myself reaching for it because it's quite big and I don't keep it like in my makeup bag. So Give it a little go. Oh yeah, okay, that is a gorgeous, gorgeous highlight. That pink is really coming through. I'm glad I managed to kind of tone down that blush, otherwise it would have been a bit too much, I reckon, with the pink of this and the pink of the blush. But that is absolutely gorgeous. And again, I'm sure these triple baked highlighters are really inexpensive. Perhaps I should keep this one out and get more use from it, because it is so pretty. So of course, left now I have got my eyes and my lips. So I only actually have 2 eye bases, which are both from Beauty Bay, and I use them all of the time. So I'm just going to get that quickly done off camera. Okay, and on to the eyeshadows. So to be honest, there is a lot of eyeshadow palettes that I haven't used in a while because I have so many, and I thought I would reach for another Revolution one because I went through a phase of using this all the time, and it is a really, really great palette, and I know I really love the formulas, but I just thought I would reach for it today to get some use out of it. And it is the Friends X Revolution We Were on a Break palette, and this has got some really, really stunning shades, really lovely mattes and shimmers, and I think I'm going to go for a pink look today because I've got a pink t-shirt on, so it seems quite fitting. I actually also didn't realise like how much Revolution makeup I actually have, and yeah, there's no real reason why I haven't used this one in a while. It's just I have a lot of palettes and I guess I can't use them all of the time. The first shade I'm going to go with is shade Cheesecake, I think. Quite a nice soft pink, and I have a couple of the Revolution Forever Flawless palettes. I've got this one, I've got the Fire palette, and I've got the Ice palette, and to be honest, they're some of the best palettes I've ever used. The formula, I think, is like one of the best Revolution palettes. They're a really great size, you get a great mirror in the palette. I think for this one, I maybe don't find myself reaching for it so much because it's just like, I don't know, it's just tucked away in the cupboard and I just don't really reach for it. I'd say they're pretty well pigmented, especially as this is obviously just like a drugstore makeup brand. You know, you can't necessarily expect too much, but yeah, this is actually really great. Next up, I'm gonna go for shade Big Opening, which is, I don't know, maybe a bit more of a peachy pink. Definitely a much softer pink. It's another really pretty shade. I would say the only thing I'd quite like to have seen in this palette maybe is a red, because you've got everything else like pink, blue, green, yellow, orange, purple, but yeah, no red. They also blend pretty great. Let me know if you've tried any of the Revolution Forever Flawless palettes, and if so, what's your favourites? I know they have quite a lot and they do tend to bring them out fairly often, or I know they've brought them out like with the Marvel collections and other bits and bobs, so yeah, let me know if you've got any favourites. And then shimmer wise, I'm going to use shade New York, which is a really lovely pink shimmer. Definitely worth applying these shades with your finger, they do apply a lot better. Got a nice, it's like a pinky goldy shift. I'm just going to pop that on the inner corner of my eye. I really do like the shimmers in this palette again. They are really lovely. They are definitely nice and vibrant, and this pink here is no exception. So I will just go and get the under eye done. I'm just going to use the shade Cheesecake and Big Opening again, and of course get my other eye done, and then back for the last few steps of this makeup. Well, I think that was a really nice and easy pink eyeshadow look. So I'm going to be using a black eyeliner pencil for my waterline. I actually only own one eyeliner pencil and it's this one from Primark, so I'm going to do that quickly off camera because it's a eyeliner pencil that I always use. But the mascara that I'm going to be using is this Maybelline Great Lash Mascara. This is their very black one, and I used to just exclusively use this mascara when I was a teenager. I used to just, yeah, use it, repurchase it when it ran out. It's got quite a small brush. I find it separates your lashes quite well, but yeah, I just haven't used it in a long time. Tend to reach for my Colourpop mascara really now. I don't even tend to reach for the Maybelline Sky High, which again I went through a phase of using that all the time. So I'll be interested to see how I get on with it and what I think of it and whether I'm going to repurchase it once it's finished or not. So crunch time for the mascara. There's a pretty good amount on the brush, to be honest. I do like that it is quite a small brush, but I don't think it's my favourite mascara. It's got quite a wet formula. I think I remember why I don't ever use this one really, because it's very easy to transfer it onto your eyeshadow because let's say it's quite a wet formula. I mean, not bad, but I probably will be sticking with my Colourpop one. I just think it makes my lashes just look a bit fuller rather than just a bit kind of long and more spindly. But there we go. So last up is lips, and to be honest, again, there's a lot of lip stuff I haven't used in ages because again I just have so much. So I thought to keep with this whole pink theme I've got going on, I would use this Jeffree Star Shane Dawson Velour liquid lipstick. This one is in the shade Ryland, and it is a really lovely kind of shimmery pink shade. I would say it comes across a bit more like glossy, if I remember, than like velour liquid lip, and I don't know, it's just not really a shade I reach for loads. It is quite a kind of shimmery baby pink, which isn't always me. I tend to just go for something a bit more neutral. Yes, it is very metallic-y. I mean, I do love the formula and everything. I have quite a lot of Jeffree Star lip products and I can't fault it on that. I think it's just the shade isn't one I tend to go for a lot. It doesn't look too bad with the eyeshadow look. I just think it's a bit too metallic-y for me, like on an everyday basis, which is probably why I don't reach for it. Well, that was pretty much a full face of makeup I haven't used for ages. There's definitely a couple of bits that I think I'm going to start using more regularly, like that primer, and I definitely want to get the foundation finished off as well because it wasn't as like bad as I remember. It's probably quite a horrible thing to say, but a couple of bits probably will stick to my favourites. So like the mascara, for example, I think I will just stick to my Colourpop one, and I don't think I'm going to be reaching for this lip colour on a daily basis. But I hope that you enjoyed. Let me know if you've got any recommendations for products or you've tried out any of these yourself, and just let me know what you thought of them because I would really love to know. But thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please do give the video a big thumbs up, leave me a comment, and if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you again in my next video.